This is the podcast overview for week 11. We will be covering chapter 13, Theories of Personality. So here's your to-do list for this week. You're reading chapter 13, and then you're also reading Hawk 7.3, called Racing Against Your Heart. Here are the objectives for the chapter, and you can click here to get an overview. I go over each of these for you. You're basically going to be learning about all the different theories of personality. So personality is one of those areas that everybody has their own kind of take or their own spin on it. Some people put emphasis in certain places, some people put it in other places. So you're going to kind of compare and contrast throughout this chapter those theories from one another. You'll start with Freud, who had one of the earliest theories of personality, which basically came from a lot of his work in the field with people who had abnormal personalities or who were in therapy. And he put together sort of his ideas of what he thought brought about an abnormality or a psychosis, as he would say. And then you're going to get into some more recent personality theories, like those of Bandura and Rotter, as well as Carl Rogers, Abraham Maslow. So you're going to hear a lot about their theories. And then trait theory, which breaks personality down into traits. The 5-factor model, or the Big Five is what we call it. And then we'll look at some genetics, behavioral genetics, and how we can use that to investigate the biological basis of personality. And then how do we measure personality? So we'll look at some different personality tests. This is the PowerPoint lecture slides that go along with the chapter. And then I have several videos for you. One is on Rorschach and Freudian. So this is sort of the psychoanalytic perspective of personality that you'll read about right away in the beginning of the chapter. And this is measuring personality, so some of the more contemporary theories on personality and how do we go about measuring the different aspects of one's personality. For the discussion this week, you're using Hawk 7.3, Racing Against Your Heart, where really this reading is all about type A personality. So you'll read about type A personality in the chapter as well. I really want you integrating both the chapter and the Hawk reading into your answers. So number 1, define the characteristics of type A personality. What is type A personality? And explain how those traits are specifically linked to heart disease. What about type A personality gives people heart disease or is linked to it? 2, do you know of anyone with type A personality? What about them tells you they have type A? Like, what do they do? And give some examples of their behavior. If you can't think of a single person, maybe there's a movie character or a TV character you could use. And then 3, how can a person with type A personality change to improve his or her health? So if a person's aware that they're type A, what could be some things, some steps that they can take to change that or improve that, and in essence, improve their health? Give at least 2 research-based suggestions, and remember to cite support. And then lastly, this is kind of a fun aspect of the discussion. You're going to take the Myers-Briggs type personality online assessment. You're going to click here. It's a very short survey assessing your personality, and it's based on the larger Myers-Briggs personality, which is clinically valid and reliable as a means of measuring one's personality. It's used in many settings like jobs, careers. All clinicians use Myers-Briggs. So you're going to take that assessment. And when you get to the end, you're going to want to either save or print out your results, because when you finish, you're going to discuss what kind of personality type you got. There's an acronym that you're going to get. What was your acronym and what does it mean about you? And tell what your personal strengths and weaknesses are. So for every personality type, it will categorize you based on what are the strengths of your personality and what are the weaknesses. Everyone has them. but we're not all the same, so you can talk about what yours were. So this will be a fun thing, I think, especially when it comes to commenting on other people's posts this week. And then you have a quiz on chapter 13, and you have exam 5, which covers chapters 12 and 13. And that wraps up the week. Please let me know if you have any questions this week.